Today's Wednesday, December 17, 2014, and you're tuned into the Elevator Radio Show. The Elevator Radio Show is a proud supporter of the Elevator Escalator Safety Foundation. To find out how you can make a difference, visit their website today, www.eesf.org.
You're tuned in to the Elevator Radio Show, a weekly program dedicated to covering news and information on elevators, escalators, and moving walkways. Produced in the wee hours of the morning, a new show is uploaded every Wednesday, sometimes even before you get out of bed. Listen to some of the comments sent in from our audience.
Rob from New York writes, Tom, are you f***ing insane? You actually get up at 2 a.m. each Wednesday to put this show out? Man, you must love elevators. Tim from Illinois writes, I'm not sure why I listened, but ever since I tuned into the first show back in 2007, I've been addicted. Matt in Texas writes, I like your safety messages, Tom. It's important to remember them each and every day. And he also adds,
when am I going to win the monthly prize pack giveaway?
Ron from California sent this in. Despite your inability to pronounce words in the English language, I tune in each week and am glad that you offer this service to the industry. It's better than Google News alerts. Sarah from Washington writes, love the show, Tom, and look forward to it each week. I'm glad I signed up for the newsletter. You provide a valuable resource for the industry, not only for North America, but worldwide.
Enjoy the show. And now, here's your sleep-deprived host, Tom Seibert.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. It is good to be here this Wednesday morning where, man, we are a week away from Christmas. Yeah, and I'm not any closer than I was last week to my holiday shopping, thanks to my kids who sent me lists that literally had nothing on it that would make it easy to get, quickly, Couldn't believe it. I got home, like, what are you guys trying to do to me? There's no way I'm going all over the place for the things on your list. It's just crazy. So anyway, but hopefully all of you are closer to your holiday shopping than I am, or having it completed, I guess I should say. But yeah, next week is Christmas and then New Year's, and then we kick off into 2015, which is I'm ready for. I'm ready to end 2014. If you're like me and just seem to get kind of stressed out during this time of the year, just hang in there. Take a deep breath. A good friend of mine told me to do that, and that sometimes does quite a bit of wonders. So anyway, hey, listen, some exciting news to report. The Elevator Escalator Safety Committee rebranding committee, I should say, met yesterday in Chicago. I want to thank everybody who came in for that event. I think we got a lot done, which was good. When you're talking about rebranding a program or remarketing it, or trying to get it to a different audience, or trying to get it out in a different manner, it can be a little difficult, obviously, when you're in a room with people who are passionate about either A, the way the program is currently in its state, or B, and trying to get it into a different marketplace or area. And I think moving forward, we're getting closer to where we believe the program needs to go. So I'll have more to report on that as plans become available, because we're going to need all of your help out there in funding to make that program come to fruition. So anyway, but it was a good meeting. It was a long meeting. I was exhausted by the day after listening to the marketing company who came in to give the presentation on what their findings were after interviews with various members in our industry, on our board. And I think even though we don't have a concrete plan as of yet, I think what was discussed yesterday will definitely help moving forward and figuring out the best steps to make sure that we minimize accidents out there that occur on elevators and escalators. And there's an article in today's show that warrants the need for the program. And while you and I might think of this all as common sense, or wouldn't give it a second thought as to accidents that occur on the equipment that we maintain, we service, we install, we inspect, we make parts for. The reality is that we still need to do more. So anyway, we'll have more to report on that later on. Actually, a shorter show today, which is kind of nice. Again, not too much news content out there, but some definite good articles to cover on. There was also an article talking about the dumbwaiter that was involved in Wisconsin in the young lady's death. Interesting information in that. I'll definitely cover that later in the show. I did not get a chance to look at the emails for today's program. running a little late on time today. So why don't we get right into it? If you're traveling this week or next week or the week after, be safe. Enjoy your family or wherever you're going. And just remember to take a deep breath, as I have been told, and just try to enjoy it. Try to enjoy the stresses of this wonderful, wonderful season, okay? So up next, we'll get into the news. As always, send your email comments to elevatorradioshow@gmail.com, and I will get back to you as quickly as I possibly can. All right, up next, news.
Let this week's news stories give you a lift on what's happening in the vertical transportation arena. Each news segment is organically dug and fresh with news stories of the week. Got lift? If not, stay tuned.
Okay, first news article of the program, Brandon Sun reporting in Manitoba. Kind of an interesting article. I've never heard of a woman being groped on an escalator. Usually it's an elevator, but apparently a man is in custody after a woman groped on an escalator at University of Winnipeg. So, yeah, interesting. So, yeah, you know what? Keep your hands to yourself. Tell my kids that all the time. Don't touch anybody, and then that way nobody will think you are, doing something wrong. That's about it. Your bodies are your sacred things, whatever, and interesting. Okay, kind of cool. I know we've been talking a lot in the last 2 weeks regarding the ThyssenKrupp magnetic type of elevator that goes sideways, up and down, all that good stuff. But Wall Street Journal actually picked up the article, which again just goes to show you that marketing works. And pretty cool image here. If you want to check out the video, please do so. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see when and if this actually occurs, or this kind of new technology, comes to light in the near future or distant future. And yeah, I think it's still a pretty cool idea. Whether or not you necessarily save space by going left to right is a whole other story, but I don't know. I'm not an architect, so perhaps somebody would be able to share more information on that. But still, kind of a cool article. Anytime the Wall Street Journal picks up something, it's neat to see. Okay, if you're interested in what's going on in the China elevator escalator market, I don't know why anybody would. I don't care, but it's coming from prnewswire.com. Perhaps if you're in China listening to the program, and this feed has not been shut down or by the government or basically squelched, or you're able to listen to it, this might interest you, but the reality is I don't, it's a report that I believe costs quite a bit of money, and I don't quite know. This always comes out every year, I think, to some extent, so... But I bet it would interest some companies that are looking to do work there. It's, some of the majors who already have contracts there. So, but anyway, if you're interested in checking that out, please do so. I don't think that report is inexpensive whatsoever, but interesting, to say the least. Okay, FireEngineering.com has a really interesting, or I shouldn't say interesting, but a news blurb regarding a firefighter who fell through a 10-foot elevator shaft during a 3-alarm fire in Brooklyn, New York. This actually occurred, I believe, on the 16th of November, so that was like Monday. Anyway, they continued to fight the fire, and it was a boarded-up building when he tumbled down a small freight elevator shaft. So he couldn't really see too well, obviously, dangerous work that those firefighters do, and I think he was okay. I'm sure he was taken to the area hospitals for to be checked out, but still glad to hear he's going to be okay. Okay, next news article, or next two, I should say, really important because these are the reasons why we support the Elevator Escalator Safety Foundation. iRadio Philly reporting that police are investigating. Oh, that's not it. Anyway, reporting in their news, crime, whatever, blurb post thing. Apparently, a child was stuck on an escalator. Thank goodness that a passerby actually knew where the emergency stop button was on an escalator, stopped it so that the unit actually stopped. But it was a terrifying scene for shoppers at a crowded mall Sunday night after a child got tangled in a moving escalator. Accident happened last night at the Oxford Valley Mall in Bucks County. Police said that the mother of a little boy screamed and an alert shopper hit the emergency stop button. Thank goodness for that. It took rescue crews 20 minutes to free the boy, who appeared to be stuck. Appeared to be shocked when he was transported by EMS, the CHOP. Next article also talks about this. That was just kind of a news blurb. Apparently, the injury was much more involved than what most had learned. I'm going to play this really quick. Just bear with me before the. Let's see if I can. Okay, I'm going to unclick the volume. and we'll see if we can play this. Not that it's going to say a whole lot, but still, again, the reason for ensuring that the Escalator Safety Foundation is in existence. So as this ad kind of plays, I will cut right into the video as soon as it is done. In 1 second.
At 10, a terrifying scene at a crowded local mall. A child is hurt on an escalator, and all holiday shoppers can do is watch. Good evening, everybody. I'm Joyce Evans. The accident happened this evening at a Bucks County mall. Now, the child is being treated at CHOP tonight. Fox 29's Chris O'Connell live in the newsroom now with the very latest on this. Chris, how is he doing?
It was a horrifying day at the mall. That 7-year-old boy from Trenton still remains at CHOP tonight. He was airlifted there after a horrible accident happened at the Oxford Valley Mall when his foot became lodged at the bottom of a mall escalator. It took rescue crews 20 horrifying minutes to free the boy. Now, that escalator was shut down when we were at the mall tonight. It happened in front of many holiday shoppers. Police say the mother of the little boy screamed, alerting another shopper to hit the emergency button on the down escalator. Now, witnesses tell me the boy appeared to be in shock when EMS crews took him away. We do not know the extent of the boy's injuries tonight, but we are told there was no amputation. Now, one witness says there were many onlookers who tried to help.
We just heard some screaming, and then everybody started running towards the elevator.
Escalator.
I could tell something was going on, so I went out there myself. I'm a retired policeman, and I see there was nothing I could do because he was totally stuck in there. So security showed up. Then later on, the fire department showed up.
The escalators undergo routine maintenance, and this was recently inspected, this escalator. They've had no problems with it, with that particular escalator in the past. As for this 7-year-old, we do not know his condition tonight, but we are told he is resting comfortably, Joyce.
All right, Chris, thank you so much for that update.
Yeah, so scary. Growing up as a child, I was taught to make sure you step high and up over the, over the comb teeth when, getting off an elevator. I can't tell you how many people I see drag their feet across that thing, mainly kids. So the reality is that I would have to say that probably 99% of all escalator accidents can be prevented if they just simply ride the thing correctly. And I'm not, I don't know the details of this particular situation, but the only way your feet are going to get caught, or fingers or whatever, or toes, or is if you're basically running your feet into the end of the escalator. So, we gotta educate the parents. We gotta educate many people to ensure that that information is trickled down into the kids, because it's a little scary. So and I didn't realize that obviously during this time, there seem to be more and more incidents that occur during the holiday season when the malls are more crowded. So yeah, it's scary. We obviously wish the little boy a speedy recovery. I assume that the ambulance chasing attorneys are already on board with the lawsuit, I imagine, unfortunately, and we probably won't learn a whole lot more about this down the road. Okay, ASME, if you were interested in traveling to someplace warm in January, Elevator 17, or the A17 Elevator Code Week is in January 15th, the 12th through the 16th. It's going to be held at the Sheraton Sand Key in Clearwater Beach, Florida. I can't imagine a better place to be during a winter if you're anywhere in the Midwest, East, or whatever. So anyway, so check that out. If you're interested in attending, go ahead and do that. These are open to the general public, just so you know, and if you are interested in serving on any one of those code committees, encourage you to check that out. Okay, next news article actually is a link to John Fallon's YouTube page. I did not link that up correctly, but I will by the time the video gets up there. But apparently John is celebrating his 600th video. Interesting what he posts over there, and kind of neat. I learn something new every day when I see him. And again, just as a reminder, if anybody's listening to the program or watching his videos, that stuff should never be done by anybody who's not qualified to work on elevator equipment. It's licensed, trained, etc., or you will die. Okay, that's just my warning right there. Okay, the Tribeca Citizen is reporting in the news that 2 were injured in an elevator accident at let's see here, at Yeah, it looks as if two men suffered in non-life-threatening injuries when an elevator fall at 60 Hudson. There's no really information to report on that. I think you can... Oh, here we go. Yeah, it is in there. I apologize. Ooh. Gosh. Yeah, apparently that happened Monday. It happened at the landmark former Western Union building. And there were multiple trauma injuries. And none of them which were life-threatening. But not a whole lot of information to report on other than that. So, kind of scary. Again, make sure... elevators need to be maintained, checked, inspected, all that good stuff. All right, let me get back here to my link. All right, Doug has a great holiday happenings blog post over. Check it out over on his blog. So it's nice to see a photo of Jack and Nancy and Tom Laporte attending an open house that was held at Quality Elevator out in Maryland. So pretty neat. Always a festive time, and nice to see friends getting together. And Doug, hey, nice tie there. I like that. Okay, the dumbwaiter. This is interesting. LeaderTelegram.com, and I don't have it in this article, but I did learn through another one that apparently this dumbwaiter that was involved with the death of the college student in Wisconsin had no doors, which has had many questioning what in the hell, how could something like this run not inspected, and what I believe, and this is my own personal opinion on it, is that either the unit that was installed to run dishes from the top to the bottom floor, I have a feeling that it was either homemade, because I don't believe the state of Wisconsin had any kind of information on it, and which is scary. There's a lot of people out there that do that kind of thing, and unfortunately the results were tragic. But yeah, the fact that Brooke Bowers was killed as she, basically put her head inside a dumbwaiter and it traveled on its own without doors is unfathomable, to be honest with you. So, if you scroll down this article, what's even more interesting, and I'm kind of surprised, is that the food elevator was permanently removed at the direction of the State Department of Safety and Professional Services on Saturday, the same day as Bowers' visitation and burial service. I'm surprised. I'm glad to hear that was done so quickly. I certainly hope that there was information regarding regarding what may have happened with that might be able to be shared. If anybody has information on that, you want to send it to me anonymously, I would be happy to share that information, or I would be happy to just basically write a summary on it, speculating. But yeah, it's an awful accident. If you are aware of any elevator or dumbwaiter or escalator that's not running safely, please lock it out, tag it out, let somebody know, so we can prevent anything like this from happening, in the future. And we all see it. We all see unsafe stuff out there. Okay, I found a cool photograph that I posted in the blog post and gave credit to constructionchristmascards.net, kind of a unique niche. It's a cute elevator Christmas tree button, and if you order today, you can get them tomorrow, although I don't think you'll be able to get them out to whoever you want to send them to, which is kind of a problem. So anyway, it's cute, and maybe for next year you can check that out. And the next and last article link for the show is one that I love. Elf is one of the funniest holiday videos I've ever watched, especially with my kids. I remember a day when literally we watched it and the kids just went nuts at some of the scenes. They thought that was so funny, and it was so funny. And here it is. I'm going to play it as it's playing.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh, beautiful. Looks like a Christmas tree.
Yeah. Will Ferrell. I use the angry elf line all the time. Whenever I see somebody angry, I'm like, yeah, he's an angry elf. Anyway, so funny movie. If you haven't watched it, I encourage you to check it out. It's kind of dumb, but dumb in its own right. So Perfect time to watch it. Anyway, well, that's going to do it for this week's show, everybody. It's good to be here. A little tired. I should have a show next week for you. It is Christmas Eve. However, I believe we are working and taking off Thursday, Friday. So anyway, so yeah, should have a show next week for you, and I think the week after as well. So holidays don't appear to look as if they will affect the holidays, which is kind of nice. Whether or not there's a whole lot of news content out there is a whole other story. So we will see. We'll find out. But as always, take a deep breath. Have a great rest of the week. Be safe out there, and we will talk to you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.